is time for community comment here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Charlie Dern is in the Daily Dodge and Slumberland studios with the Randolph Police Department. Charlie?
Thanks so much, Corey. Charlie Dern down in the Daily Dodge TV studios here on 95.3 WBEV. I'm sitting alongside Randolph Police Department Chief Derek Jesko. Derek, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We're here to talk about the first annual Pigs in the Park Pig Roast that's happening on Saturday, June 22nd, being held at Randolph Park. So I'm looking forward to talking about this. Everybody that's watching on the Daily Dodge TV stream over on YouTube and on dailydodge.com can see the flyer up. Well, I found it funny. I think that any self-deprecating kind of humor works for me. So I really like the using the pigs there. So yeah, were you one of the main people in creating this event?
Yes, I was the one who wanted to bring this event forward, create this community event for the police department and the community of Randolph.
So this looks like a great day over at Randolph Park. And again, this is happening on Saturday, June 22nd. So it's coming up. Make sure to go. Well, we can start anywhere because there's a lot that's going to be going on. It looks like it's an all-day event for the most part. The pig roast starts at 1 p.m. There's a cornhole tournament starting at 1 p.m. And Corey, the producer, and I were talking about it because we're looking to get involved in some competitive cornhole. I'm not actually any good at it, but, competition spikes it for me. So there's the pig roast at 1, cornhole tournament at 1. If you want to play in that cornhole tournament, it's $20 per team with cash prizes. And then there's live music all day. Casey Carney's performing at 1 p.m., 1 to 4. That's sponsored by Mugshots. And then Legitimate Salvage from 5 to 8 p.m., and that's sponsored by Marshview Vet Clinic, which that's funny timing because on Friday we're going to be over there for a brat fry. We're going to be there and between them and Horicon Bank for brat fry on Friday. So sorry for the self-plug on that one.
Nope,
but
that's fine.
Yeah, it sounds like a great day over there at the park. So tell me all about it. Tell me how it started and everything that went on with it.
Yeah, so it's almost been 2 years since I took over as chief. One of my biggest parts of wanting to do this job was to promote community-oriented policing. Law enforcement is a great career and it's a great job, and being able to work side by side with the community, and I just wanted to create an event that established that and brought everybody together to have a good time, relax, and enjoy themselves. And that's where the first annual Pigs in the Park Pig Roast started. Obviously, the name says itself. It was to, again, it's to bring in humor and everybody have a good time, and not to be negative in any way, but just bring everybody together and have a good time. So a lot of this sparked because, unfortunately, in our small town communities, it's hard to budget for new updating equipment, and with the prices rising, it's really tough to budget for certain things and safety equipment within the police department. And so the proceeds of this event are going to go to update a lot of our outdated equipment. Our body cameras are outdated. We can't update the software for that. So in order to get new body cameras or update it, we have to buy a whole new system. And it's pretty expensive. I had the luxury of outfitting a new squad car and unfortunately couldn't update a lot of the equipment. Our radios in there, unfortunately, they're over 15 years old, so they're not compatible with a lot of the channels so Columbia or Randolph sits on the Columbia and Dodge County border. So both of them have specific channels, and these radios can't get those because they're so outdated. So that's what this event was for. And then unfortunately this year the community and the village board had to make the tough decision to close the Randolph community pool, and that put a pretty big heartache on the community, because that was a big thing in the summer. Every kid's swam down there. My kids have swim down there, and unfortunately, due to safety concerns, they had to close the pool. And with that, there's a lot of pushback on that, and unfortunately, I just felt we needed an event that brought everybody back together and say, hey, we can come back together, we can get through this. Let's come down out to an event and have a good time and bring everybody back together.
And I will say that everybody can go on to the Randolph Police Department's Facebook page to see all of the raffle prizes that are there for the silent auction, because it does seem like there's a lot of support for this event. I was just, seeing what's going on at the Randolph PD, and just basket after basket. It seemed like there's a lot of people that were donating.
Yes, that was a very huge surprise to me. The community support that I have received within the Randolph community has just been overwhelming. We have a lot of donations, a lot of sponsorships of these grand prizes. We've had basket raffles, and again, the community is coming together to support this and bring everybody together, and it is overwhelming with all the donations that we are receiving.
And how can people help donate if maybe they aren't donating a basket and they don't want to participate in, say, the cornhole tournament?
Your support is the first one. You don't have to donate money to support this type of event. Just putting the word out there, letting people know, coming down, having a good time, and embracing the event and what it's going to bring to the community. If you are luxury enough to be able to donate, you can do it by cash, you can do it by basket raffles or sponsorships that way as well. But the biggest thing is just promoting and coming down and having a good time, and that's all we're looking for. Because, again, community is Randolph community is a great community. It's a great place to work, great place to live, and I just want to emphasize and express that to everybody around.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Bringing the people together is really important. And again, I am talking with Chief Derek Jesko over at the Randolph Police Department, talking about the first annual Pigs in the Park Pig Roast happening on Saturday, June 22nd over at Randolph Park. And now I haven't been to Randolph Park before. I've been downtown in Randolph for various events that we've had. But I'm assuming that this event's going to be pretty easy to find once you're over at the park.
Yeah, so it's located on the Columbia County side, which is the west side of Randolph. For those of you guys who know of the Labor Day Parade and the events that go down, it's the same park that the Labor Day Parade is at, which is just off of Stark Street by Randolph. And you just come in on 73 there. You take a left or a right on West Stroud Street, and the park's right there.
And I'm wondering, I know that, well, maybe since you're part of it and putting on the event, you won't have a part in the raffles, but are you eyeing any of the prizes up in the raffles?
Yes, there's a lot of good prizes. I mean, any of the prizes on the pig roast with the grand prize are any of them that we would love. That originally started with just five firearms that we were going to donate. And then five more businesses just stepped up and wanted hey, I want to add this. And everything on there is, in my eyes, phenomenal to win. And there's also we're going to be doing a regular basket raffle and silent auction. Barnes and Beams has donated a solid maple table to the silent auction, and it's just beautiful. And I think that's another thing that I would be interested in.
And if people want to buy raffle tickets, they can buy them day of the event,
yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yep. So with this grand raffle, there's going to be a total of 500 tickets sold. We'll be selling up till the day of the event. The drawing is at 4 o'clock. All the basket raffles and everything, all the drawings will be between 4 and 5 when there's that break between the bands. And we'll be selling tickets up till that time.
Okay, got it. So Casey Carney is performing from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mm-hmm. From 4 to 5 is the drawing of the raffles. Mm-hmm. And then 5 to 8 p.m. Legitimate Salvage is performing.
Correct.
Okay, got it. I haven't seen either of them perform. Have you seen them play before?
I have not personally, but I've heard they're pretty good.
Okay, yeah. I know that they're familiar names around here, and I'm really trying to I hear a lot of these local bands performing. I hear about them, and people know about them right away. Mm-hmm. And I'm new to it, so I'm trying to figure that out, especially this summer when they're performing. So I'll have to check them out when they're around. But yeah,
you can check them out if you come down to the event.
That's a great point. Yeah. So on Saturday, June 22nd, I'll be able to see them live. I'm looking at the raffle prizes, and I know that people can go on the Facebook and see them. Otherwise, we're showing it on the stream here. But I'm seeing trailers, smokers, tents, gift card to Kalahari. That sounds awesome. There's different rifles that are going to be up for auction. There's a chainsaw. there's really something for everybody that's going to be held in these drawings. So I really encourage it. $20 for a ticket. It's a great investment if you end up winning, and maximum 500 tickets.
Maximum 500 tickets. Yeah.
Okay, so get that early. I do see that people can buy them in advance if they'd like. They're available at the police department, Village Hall, Marshview Vet Clinic, Randolph Hometown Pharmacy, or any police department employee as well will have them.
Yep.
Awesome. And then they can call 920-326-4620 with any questions or donations.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, yeah, that sounds great. Besides for the actual pig, do you know of the other kind of food and beverages that will be around?
So we're gonna have a kids meal. It'll be a hot dog, some chips, and possibly a beverage of their choice. Then we'll have the actual meal. It'll either be a pig sandwich, or we'll have burgers for an alternative. And then we'll have the ultimate, which is the pig sandwich, the barbecue pork with a burger patty on top of it and cheese, and then both the two meals comes with coleslaw. Or not, correction, coleslaw, potato salad, and corn that was donated by Alsom's.
Awesome. That sounds delicious. I've been a part of one pig roast before, and it was a success. So, well, the other one that I was at, deep fried the thing. Like, not even, deep fried is not even the right word, but like fully almost set the thing on fire. It didn't work out, that one. So, well, hoping the best for that. Hoping that doesn't happen on Saturday the 22nd. Well, is there anything else that we wanted to cover with the pig roast?
Yeah, the day of the event, we're going to be having, between 1 to 4, we're also going to be having a bounce house.
Okay.
That's sponsored by the National Exchange Bank. Again, we wanted to create an event that was not only kids for adults, but there's also kids that'll be, make it where it feases both parents and kids. So that's why we created this event. So between 1 and 4, we'll have the bounce house. And then in that meantime, we'll also be having another fun event called the donut toss, which is going to be a beanbag board with some old donuts. And then you got to throw it into that beanbag board, and then from there, kids can win some prizes off of that. Might create a separate one for adults as well, but again, another fun event for the kids. That stuff will stop at 4 o'clock when the raffle begins, and when the drawing starts being announced. Also, the day of the event, the Randolph Fire Department is sponsoring a beer tent. So they'll be hosting the beer tent so people can come down and have some nice cold beverages. It seems to be what the weather looks like. It's going to be hot that day. So we do have the Randolph Fire Department sponsoring that. So there will be that going on as well during the event. And with the beanbag tournament, we're limiting it to 32 teams. So for anybody who's interested in that, if you get registered beforehand, it would be recommended, because we are limiting it to 32 teams, just because with the first event, we don't want to make it too big and run into problems. So we're going to limit that to 32 teams, and then hopefully every year, we're hoping to expand this every year. I'm trying to make this an annual event, and then expand and doing other things as it grows.
That sounds like a wonderful day, and I'm sure that it's probably best to watch your drink intake when you're at a police department event. You're probably not getting away with things as you might in another event, but it sounds like a great day. So starting at 1 p.m. with the pig roast, the cornhole tournament starts as well at 1 p.m. Casey Carney 1 to 4. It's a jam-packed day over at Randolph Park. So I'm looking forward to checking this out on Saturday the 22nd. Well, tell me about yourself. So you said you started 2 years ago as the chief, but what was your journey up until that point?
So I put in 9 years over at the Columbia County Sheriff's Office, and then from there I took a break from law enforcement, and then I decided that I missed it. I wanted to go from a bigger agency to a smaller one, and Randolph. I live in Randolph. My kids go to the school. It's a great community, and I just felt that working for the department, that area that I work was fitting for the career path that I was going, and I loving, having a blast. The support from the village board and everybody is just phenomenal, and and then that's kind of my background.
Yeah, great. And besides for planning this event, what's been keeping you busy over there?
Again, we're with law enforcement. We're always busy doing stuff, and again, it's trying to just community oriented, listening to community what they want, and trying to help making things better. Since taking over, we've had a couple events. We've had a big speed problem in town, and from that, I was able to raise the money to get a speed board for the village, and now we've been able to do some speed studies and place it where people were, and we can delegate our patrol time to make the community safer with that speed board, and so we done that. We've done a stuff the squad. We do that now, and all the proceeds from that go to the feeding of the free meal at the church in town. So all those extra supplies go to that, and we've donated all that. And we've done a chili roast or a chili dump for our free Christmas parade that we do. So we host something there. Again, promoting the community-oriented policing, and working together with the community to make things better and safer.
I really like it. It is a two-way street. You can't do things without the community, and community can't do things without the police department. So it really works both ways. And I liked what you were talking about with the speed monitor, because in one of my first shows ever producing here, I was producing for Dale Schmidt, sheriff over at Dodge County, and someone called in and asked him about, it's Juneau. There's like a zone where you go from 55 to 25 in a blink. And I drove that the other day, and I was like, wow, that caller really wasn't lying. Like, it really is quick. And so those kind of speed parameters or ways to monitor that, they are important, because you can really fly on those roads.
Yeah, and that is true. And this specific speed board that I purchased not only will show you digitally what your speed is, but it also documents the speed. So if somebody's saying, well, we're having a huge problem with, they're going 50, 60 miles an hour past my house, we can put the speed board out there, and it'll document whether that information is true or not. And we've, had a lot of, it is alarming with the amount of speeds and that come through town. And but it also helps us because, there's some other areas where I think that the speed limit coming south of town on Keno Drive, it goes from 45 to 25. That is an area where it's now businesses are starting to grow in that area. It's our industrial park area. And I'd really like to get that speed pushed out further past the businesses, so it's safer for them and the people coming in and out of the Dollar General and the dental's office there and Pig and Horicon Bank. And this speed board will now give us the data that we need to hopefully get that speed limit changed.
And how much say does the police department have there? Because you'd have to work with the highway department on that,
yes.
Right? Okay.
Well, we have to work with the state on that. The state makes that decision.
Okay. And then you ultimately show the data, show that it needs to be addressed, and then...
Yep.
Okay.
And it's a long process, but hopefully in time we can get that corrected.
Yeah. Well, I know that the one and only time I got pulled over was for a reason like that. There was a back street in Mequon, Wisconsin that you get right off the highway and you can just fly down that street, and that's what everybody would do. And then police officer pulls me over and is like, hey, the neighbors, they're telling us the exact thing. Like, people are flying down this road. You got busted for it, and it worked out.
Yeah, and we got a couple other spots in town like that too on West Cambria Street that goes from 45 to 25 again, and there's a stretch of there. There's residential houses, and it butts up to the West Cambria Street, and kids playing out there all the time, and it's 45 through there, and in the event, unfortunately a car go off the road, it could potentially be tragic, and I'd like to get that speed pushed out too as well, and make that area safer as well.
You absolutely never know. So safety is always the most important thing in those situations. Again, I'm here with Randolph Police Department Chief Derek Jesko talking about the first annual Pigs in the Park Pig Roast happening on Saturday, June 22nd at Randolph Park. Chief, do you want to walk through the details one last time?
Yeah, so the details are it's going to be our first annual on June 22nd, 2024. The day of the event, we're going to be having a beanbag tournament where we're limiting it to 32 teams. That will be a payout, depending on if we get to 32 teams. We don't know the exact payouts, but you'll be getting, we'll be paying out at least the top 3, possibly top 4 prizes or teams of that. During that, we have Casey Carney playing, which was sponsored by Mugshots. During that event, we'll be serving food. We'll have pig roast pork, burgers, hot dogs, potato salad, and corn. We'll be selling sodas and waters for that day. Also, the fire department is sponsoring a beer tent throughout the day. And then at 4 o'clock, we're going to, actually before that, we have the bounce house for the kids, along with the donut toss event. And then at 4 o'clock, we're going to shut down the events, pull the tickets for the winners, and then we'll still be serving food at 5 o'clock when Legitimate Savage starts, which is sponsored by Marshview Vet Clinic. And then at 8 o'clock, the place will be shutting down, and then during that time, food will be served the whole time.
And I also want to remind everybody, pictures of the raffle baskets are on the Facebook page over at Randolph Police Department. If you want to take a look at all the awesome raffle baskets that have been donated for the silent auction. It really seems like a great day, full day for the family. The kids have stuff that they can do, parents have stuff they can do. So, again, this sounds like an awesome Saturday coming up.
Let's hope so. Hopefully the weather cooperates and it brings everybody together like it was before.
Is there anybody over at the police department that's really good at cornhole?
I say I'm good, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be part of the event. I'm going to be out and about, so we'll have the people at the police department will be working the event. Hopefully we have some good teams that come in and have a good time with that, and so.
So if you say you're good, do you have the spin on it, like where it rotates? Because that's like the next level.
Yeah, I do spin it, but right. I don't have the next level. There's a lot of people better than me,
Well, that spinning is the next level for me, because that part I don't have down, and that makes all the difference. So you're a step ahead of me there. Well, Chief Derek Jesko, thanks again for coming in and spreading the word about the Randolph Police Department's first annual Pigs in the Park Pig Roast happening on Saturday, June 22nd at Randolph Park. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. If you want to donate, again, reach out to the police department. Again, any donations that we receive, we do sponsor and acknowledge the businesses. And if we have, if the day of the event, prior to the event, and all that stuff, anybody who's willing to donate, we acknowledge their support and let them know.
Donations are always accepted, and they're going to a great cause, so it's always worth it in the end of the day. Chief, thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And that'll do it for today's community comment on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.